So you really think you're gonna make it in real estate, huh? Well, you're delusional, and so are the 87% of those who fell out of the industry. And that's the reality. I just wanna put it on your radar. You know for a fact that 87% of people that get started in this industry do not make it. Yet you think you're gonna be the exception. Every single one of you thinks you're going to be the exception. And the reason I'm making this video is I want to point out the two separators between those who do make it and stick with it and those who do not. But first, I want to set the proper expectation because I see it day in and day out among people that get started in the industry. Their eyes are twinkling with excitement, yet months go by, little to nothing happens, and before you know it, you can't even get a hold of them because they're not even in business. And if you're watching this, I want to help you avoid that situation. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tyler Roicki. I help people build income and wealth in real estate, and I run an international real estate sales organization at eXp Realty. If there's anything I can do to help you along your journey, please reach out, see the description below. But back to the topic at hand. See, most people, as they get started in this industry, what they expect and what the reality are two completely different things. In fact, oftentimes they couldn't be more different. And that's the problem people have, because by the time they realize what the reality is, it's too little too late. So what separates those who stick with it, who make it in this business? I'll tell you, it's two things. For one, it's the mindset. What I mean is what's going to determine your success or failure in this business, whether or not you make it, is going to come down to your mindset more so than any other factor at all. More than what brokerage you're at, more than who your mentor is, more than anything, more than whether you're part-time or full-time getting started. No, your mindset is going to carry more weight than any of those factors or any other potential factor, because it's going to take, regardless of where you're at today in terms of mindset, it's going to take you developing a positive mindset from here on out, and more specifically, a growth mindset. Maybe you have that getting in. I'd say far more often than not, people don't have a growth mindset getting in. So if you have a growth mindset, meaning you're personally developing yourself, you're constantly striving to be the best version of yourself, great. We're on the right track. We need to keep building upon it. But if you're not there already, this is going to be critical. You need to develop a growth mindset. You need to get into a mode where day in, day out, you're working not just on your business, but on yourself. That's going to be the most important work you do day in and day out. So what I mean is, hey, what are you doing to develop your mind? Like, what are you feeding your mind? Or what are you reading? What are you learning? You've got to be learning every day on a day-to-day basis. I'm not just talking about the basics of real estate and how to get your business off the ground. I'm talking about developing and growing as a person. Most people don't pick up books after they are done with school. You need to be someone who does. You need to become that person. And I don't care if you don't like reading. I don't like reading, but I read a lot now. It's because this is something I developed. Also, part of that is physically, what are you doing? I'm talking about, are you in shape? And if you're not, what are you doing to take care of this vessel right here, your body? And it's important because it will play into your mindset, especially with all the sitting we do in real estate in front of our computers, taking care of business. Like, we gotta get our body moving. And then, what are you doing spiritually? What are you doing in your family life? Like, you've gotta be growing in all these areas because it's going to help cultivate your mindset. And you've gotta be feeding your mind the right things. Stuff that is in the direction you want to go in life, not the direction you've come from. So if you want to become a successful, financially healthy, fit person, you've got to be feeding your mind stuff that really speaks to that and helps you grow and cultivate that. So personal growth is number one thing. And along those lines too, you've got to develop your mental toughness. That goes with your mindset, your ability to grit through hard situations day in, day out, to solve problems, to seek out solutions and answers. I mean, you're guiding people through what oftentimes is the biggest financial transaction. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of stress with that. You've got to be the one who can guide through every step along the way. So you've got to become an expert at dealing with those things. And part of that's going to be developing your mental toughness, your grittiness, and that's going to play into your ability to actually stick with this industry, getting your business off the ground, which is the hardest part of it. But the second separator between those who make it in real estate and those who don't is movement. You've got to take action. It's not enough to simply be hitting the books and absorbing the material and going to the trainings, that will not take you anywhere at all. I'd say it won't take you that far. Honestly, it won't take you anywhere at all, because as long as you're in the classroom, you're not in a situation where you're applying what it is you learn to do that can take your business and life forward. So you've got to get moving as quickly as possible. In fact, the best thing you can do from day one is take what you've learned up to that point and start applying it all throughout the day and what you're doing to move the needle forward in your business. And a lot of people get stuck in this mode where they're doing things that they would call work that's just not moving their business forward. It's like, hey, setting up your CRM, setting up your website, designing marketing materials, etc. Like, that is not going to move the needle forward in your business. What's going to move the needle forward is you connecting with people, having conversations, building relationships, and getting your name out there. You've got to do that. Nothing else is going to move the needle in your business early on. So get out of the classroom and start applying in the real world. And so movement, mindset and movement. You've got to develop your mindset. You've got to personally develop. You've got to build your mental toughness and purposefully do things that will help to shape that. And you've got to put into motion the things you know that you need to do. You've got to move. You've got to go make contacts. You've got to lead generate. You've got to prospect. You've got to go talk to people. You got to be the one that initiates the conversation, both with people you don't know and people that you have a great relationship with. You can't depend on anyone you know doing business with you, because unless you initiate the conversation and keep it going, you shouldn't assume that anyone you know is going to ever work with you. Like, you got to be the one that makes it happen. You got to take ownership and you got to get in motion. You cannot afford to sit still. So your business is going to be in direct correlation to how well you do those two things: mindset, movement. And I'm telling you, if you're on any other pathway, you're delusional, because you think you're going to make it in this industry. You know for a fact 87% of people don't make it, yet you think you're going to be different. How? I'm telling you what it takes. And so here's what I'll leave you with. If you're not already in an environment where you're surrounded with people that are cut of that cloth, personally developing, becoming the best version of themselves in real estate and in life, you need to be surrounding yourself intentionally with people like that. Because if you're the only one, it's you against the world. You got resistance around you, probably in your office, probably in the household. So you got to intentionally seek out and put yourself around other people in this business who are on that same wavelength. If not, you're swimming upstream. And I don't know how much energy you got in the tank to do that for very long. So it'd serve you better if you go and put yourself in a situation where you're surrounded with other people in this business that are on that same track. And two, you've got to get into motion and to put yourself in an environment where movement is the standard, because there's a lot of environments out there where people are sitting still, where they're looking at the headlines and news and they're being reactive. No, you got to be in a proactive environment with people that already decide what they do before the news hits, that already are moving the right way at every point in time. Like, a good example is the NAR settlement stuff. There's a lot of people that are scared, and there's others that have already decided what it is they're going to do and are already prepared. They already have literally the agreements in place that they need come summertime. And not every company or place is on the cutting edge with that. And so here's what I'll leave you with. If you're not already in a positive growth environment of others in this business, and you're not in a situation where you see movement all around you that you can easily step into and be a part of that, I'm going to reach out my hand and extend it to you. Because the reason I can speak on this topic is I've helped over 100 people launch their career in real estate. I've helped more than that take their business and life to the next level in real estate. And so if you're in a situation where you're seeking out an environment of real estate agents that want to personally grow, develop, become the best version of themselves, and they're putting themselves day in, day out in situations where they're moving the needle forward in the real estate business, go ahead and schedule a call with me. You can do that in the description below, but I'd love to speak with you and see how me and the group of agents I'm working with can add those missing links to your business and life, so that you can ultimately not just stay in the industry and be among the 13% that do, but truly make a difference in your business and your life as a result of what you do. You got to surround yourself with the right people. You got to be in the right environment where movement is the standard. So reach out, schedule a call if that's going to apply to you. And even beyond that, hey, if there's anything I can do to help you now or in the future, go ahead and connect with me. And all that being said, if you got value out of this video, make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss what I have coming in the pipeline here in the time ahead to help you continue to move the needle forward in business and life. And thank you for watching the video. Until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.